Hey, I'm going to take you guys through a tour of my grow room. I've been using it for about a little over a year now. I just recently upgraded to use a recirculating deep water system with an automated Arduino hydroponics control unit. We'll start here with the light. This is a 600 and some odd watt LED light. It puts out about the equivalent of a 1000 watt HID, but with much less heat and electrical charge. Does put out more heat than I was really anticipating for, and because of that I do have to use a small air conditioning unit over here in the window. It's the smallest one I could find at Home Depot. The light normally is quite a bit brighter than this. It doesn't really get captured on the camera and just blinds me if I have it on high, so I have it on its lowest setting right now, but it's extremely bright. I absolutely love this thing. The only issues I've ever really had is with real dense canopy, the penetration can be a little bit low, so you gotta keep the light close, which isn't a problem with heat, but it does become a problem with bleaching, so you gotta be careful with that. Up top here we have an 8-inch carbon scrubber and fan. I wanted a 6-inch because the tent really doesn't need something this crazy big, but I can't find anything locally, and this is what I went with. It creates massive negative pressure, so I have two passive 8-inch air intakes down there. Coming here to the heart of the system, we have a undercurrent recirculating system that I kind of came up with a design for. The bottom line here is a 1/2-inch inline, which comes water pumping in through these two bulkhead fittings. The water can then fill up the tub. It gets up into the top area here where it just floods out kind of like a bathtub and comes out and drains down into the return. Up until this grow I had been using 6-inch pots, but the stems on my plants have been getting about the size of soda cans, and they were starting to have issues with the size of the pot, so I've upgraded to a 10-inch. I keep this reflective foil here, just kind of use some of the light and get to the underside of the canopy on both of these. I have it off here right now so I can show you inside. Inside I have, each pot has two air stones running through it, one in the front, one in the back, and then like I was saying right here you can see the drain where the flood water just heads on back. Out here outside the tent to the control unit where it just pours out here and back into the control unit and gets recirculated by this little pump back out through the bottom. I'm using a tiny little pump because if I go with any more water pressure I have issues that the water pumps into the tubs faster than it can drain out, even with a double the size line on the return. Coming back here we get into the automation, the Arduino portion. Here we have the meters in here. This is pH meter and an EC meter. Here we have 6 pumps connected to some chemicals, pH up, pH down, part A, part B, and 2 supplements that I can rotate out depending on what the plant needs. We're just running pH up and pH down because we're stabilizing the water for some seedlings. And then in the back here, we get to the control unit for this whole thing. This is an Arduino thing that I built. Try to get the flash off for a minute. You can see it monitors pH. My last check, it's currently in the middle of adjusting. It's a bit low, 5.57. So it's increasing it right now. My EC is 24. That's just my plain tap water. And then a little print here, if I can get to focus, you can see we have a target of 0 ppm or 0 EC, because again I'm just doing seedlings, they don't need any nutrients for a little bit. So if we go into the options here, I can touch the right spot, there we go. Oh, no. Sometimes when it's adjusting it's a bit weird. Alright, there we go. So we have the ability right now to adjust my nutrients, which this will let me set my target ppm or EC, whatever you use. Right now it's a 0. I have a tolerance of 100, so that's the range in which it's acceptable, that it doesn't need to adjust it at all. If it's more than 100 off, it will start to adjust it. I can enable and disable pumps. Right now they're all off as I'm not using any nutrients, but depending on what I need I can turn them on and off. Next page I can purge the pump lines. This just for each pump gives me the ability to run the pump to make sure that the chemicals are all the way through the tube here and ready to be dispensed by the unit. We have a flush option. All this does is when you flush the system it will let you say soup's on, and it will automatically start adjusting pH and EC for you, rather than waiting for the timer. Here we can set the time of the unit, we can set the date of the unit, it's 8:31, and we can most importantly adjust the schedule of the unit, which here it lets me, you can see I'm checking pH every hour, and I'm checking EC every 12 hours, so I can turn these up or down depending on how much fluctuation I'm seeing, what I think I need. So that's the system here. Let me know what you guys think of everything and give me any feedback that you have. Hopefully with this automation it will help with me being a lazy ass and get my plants a bit healthier than they have been, as they've been letting pH and water levels fluctuate all over the place. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.